The iPhone 12 lineup has been out for a few weeks now, costing anywhere from £700 for the iPhone 12 mini and up to £1,400 for the maxed out iPhone 12 Pro Max. And although I've been itching to get the iPhone 12 Pro Max, I eventually decided to stick to my trusty iPhone 10. Hey everyone, my name is Jamie. I'm a medical student based in the UK, and in this video we answer the question, is the iPhone 10 still worth it in late 2020 and early 2021? Let's not waste your time, and here are timestamps for everything in this video, and let's get started. First off, let's talk about the design. The iPhone 10 was first released in November 2017, and it was the first iPhone to not have a home button. Apple did away with the home button to allow for an edge-to-edge display. This display design is the exact same one that Apple is using for the iPhone 12 models. So if you compare them side by side from the front, they look almost identical. However, the difference in design is in the body itself. The iPhone 12 models all have a more boxy design, similar to the iPhone 5 and 5S if you remember those. That is compared to the smooth edges on the iPhone 10. And even 3 years after the iPhone 10 was released, the iPhone 12 models still have that dreaded notch at the top, and they're still using the Lightning port. So aside from the boxy design of the iPhone 12 models, not much has changed. Both the iPhone 10 and the 12 models use the Super Retina OLED display. So that means you get the same crisp images with pitch dark blacks and amazing colors all around. And although the iPhone 12 models use the XDR Super Retina panels, in reality the difference is barely noticeable. The iPhone 10 comes in one panel size, that is the 5.8 inches, whilst the iPhone 12 models, they start from 5.4 inches for the iPhone 12 mini up to 6.8 inches for the iPhone Pro Max. Another thing that's keeping me from upgrading is the 3D touch. The iPhone 12 models use haptic touch where you have to press and hold for a second. In contrast, the iPhone 10, where it's much faster to just press harder to access extra menus. The iPhone 12 Pro has the 3-camera system, the wide lens, the ultra wide lens, and the telephoto lens. This is in contrast to the iPhone 10, where it has the telephoto lens and the wide lens, but not the ultra wide lens. Here are some other technical differences if you wanted to know more, but honestly, unless you're very serious about taking photos and you need your photos to look the best they could, then maybe you can justify upgrading to the iPhone 12. But for the rest of us, the iPhone 10 cameras will do a great job. Here are some examples of some of the photos that I took using the iPhone 10 cameras. The iPhone 10 is rocking the A11 Bionic chip. This is in comparison to the A14 Bionic chip on the iPhone 12 models. That is a 3-year difference in technology, but in day-to-day life that barely matters. The difference is only a few seconds if you compare the speed of opening apps and loading apps. I've been using this iPhone for the past 3 years, and honestly I cannot recall a time where I had any significant issues with performance. The battery, however, now this is an important one. I've not changed the battery on this iPhone for the past 3 years, and yeah, I can definitely say that the battery is nowhere as good as it used to be when I first got it, and that is something quite expected with lithium batteries. But I suspect if I change the battery, then this iPhone will feel like a brand new iPhone. But even with that in mind, I don't actually need to change the battery. Even though that the battery does not last nearly as long as it used to, it still very easily gets me through the day. So as soon as I get home from work, I just charge it for about 30 or 40 minutes, and that is enough to keep me going until the end of the day. So to give you an idea, after 3 years of using this iPhone, I start the day at around 7 AM with a 100% battery, and then by the time it's 5 PM or 6 PM, I'm at around 20%. So I just need to charge about twice a day. Finally, let's talk about money. If you have all the money in the world, then you don't need me to tell you this. Upgrade to the iPhone 12 Pro or the iPhone 12 Pro Max. But if you're like me and you don't want to dash £1,000 on a new iPhone, well, a much cheaper iPhone will do the trick. You can get the iPhone 10 refurbished from Apple for around £670. That is cheaper, but still not very cheap. But you can definitely find it for around £300 to £400 from Facebook Marketplace or from Craigslist if you're in the US. But obviously with these places, you've got to be careful not to get scammed, etc., etc. So in summary, if you've got tons of money, then upgrade to the iPhone 12 Pro or the iPhone 12 Pro Max. If you already own the iPhone 10, then do not upgrade and wait for the iPhone 13. And if you have a much older iPhone, then consider buying a used iPhone 10 or even iPhone 10s if they are of a similar price. If you did decide to stick with the iPhone 10, then it will definitely carry you for another 2 years at least. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing for more content like this. And check out my other videos. And see ya!